Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and joined by our other host, Liz Mila. Hello, Mila.
Hello, hello.
And, of course, Larry.
Hey, hey.
How you guys doing today?
Just
Great.
peachy.
It's early. It is early on it's early on a Sunday for me.
Yeah.
It's noon today.
Noon.
We're going to do our episode 3 review of the book of Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. Before I wanted to start doing that, I wanted just to hit out a couple of news, just a bit of entertainment news, I think, going forward on our bonus episodes, like we talked about. These are sort of timely. We put these out regularly, so we can do just a little bit of news. So, and we can discuss them just quickly. Obviously, we want to keep the bonus episodes short, but we had obviously a couple of deaths, some passings. This,
Yes.
Betty
This
White.
past week.
Yeah, Betty White right before New Year.
Yep.
99 was a week, 2 weeks away.
Two weeks away.
from
Just
her
before
100th.
the year of 2022.
Unbelievable. And they had a big celebration for her, like planned.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
Oh, it was
100th
everywhere.
birthday.
Big thing that was coming
Who's
out.
pissed off now? She couldn't hold out another week.
My God.
I mean,
Yeah.
really,
Deposit back?
pull it together. No kidding. Well, obviously, they're just going to turn it into a tribute memorial type
Right,
thing. They'll still
yeah.
rock it and just turn it that way. So, and then we had Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
That was
that was huge.
It was.
And I was actually talking with other people about this. I didn't see, maybe it was just me, I didn't see a lot being talked about his death on like Facebook or the big on the social media. I mean, that guy, he's been around forever.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of groundbreaking things when times they didn't do those kind of things. He didn't, having him be in some of these movies that he was in, he was supposed to be like the typecast or it's like, hey, you're a African-American guy and you're only going to have, your role's going to be so limited. But he was like, no, I'm breaking barriers and I'm breaking walls. And, and he did a lot of great things and, yeah, so seeing his passing, I was kind of like, wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of Mila?
No.
I mean, he hasn't really been active for a very long time.
Right. He's been old, I guess.
Yeah,
for a very long time.
For a very long time, but not as old as Betty White.
Betty White's been old for
No.
Yeah,
a long time.
She kept doing
Most
it.
of her life she's been
Like,
old.
Right to the end.
She's been active, yeah.
Right to the end, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. So that was, again, shocking. And as they know, they generally come in threes. So then we had America's dad, Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Where that was the 56? That was a shocker.
that was
That was a
surprising.
shocker. That one took me by storm on that one. I did not get that one. Did not see that coming.
No, and he had just done a show in Florida, in Jacksonville.
Yep.
He tweeted out, like, right after the show, like, hey, it was really, great to be back out on stage and doing the whole stand-up thing. And then he had, and then he traveled to Orlando because I guess that's where his next show was going to be. Mm-hmm. And then that's where that's where he passed.
Yeah, I mean, just they found him in the hotel.
In the hotel,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then they found him in the hospital after that.
Yeah.
That was shocking. That was strange for that one. So it's been a rough beginning of the year, And one of my favorite memes, but going back to Betty White, is the one where you live 99 years on this earth and people still don't feel like it's enough.
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
earth collectively feels like it wasn't enough, and they're mad at you because it wasn't enough. So that was a strange one for me. So all right, so that's our basically the rest in peace section. And next we had a few things going on. I know I got the Batman movie. Got a PG-13.
Your favorite movie, right?
No, I do not want to go see this movie, which I probably won't. I'll probably skip it and wait to it comes out on streaming. And I'm, as we know, a massive Batman fan. But it got a PG-13 rating. Obviously, just sell more tickets, sell more tickets, and sell more toys. At the end of the day, I mean, the toy stuff is already flooding.
It really seemed like it was going to be a rated R movie.
Yeah,
especially with the edgy.
Yeah,
view of it.
maybe they'll do like a director's cut on the Blu-ray or something like that. We'll have the R rating on, that will have the theatrical release and the director's cut, something like that. But at the end of the day, where like box office numbers just aren't what they used to be, especially with the pandemic, it's safer. They're running the safe route of like, we need to get more bodies in the seat and more people will see it because they'll be able to bring their kids to it if it's PG-13.
Right, but how much of a change from PG-13? Like I'm kind of naive to that. Like what is the biggest difference? Like what's the change between PG-13 and rated R?
I think there's a certain level of like death
violence?
and
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah, more,
certainly
like-
nudity.
Yeah.
Grittier. Gritty. Yeah.
can
Any
be.
violence, swearing, and nudity, things like that is basically where their levels change. But that's actually a good question. I'd have to look it up and see where they actually draw the line. What their requisites are.
Because I
for.
mean, I don't know about you, but have anybody talked to like freshmen in high school?
Yeah, no,
I'm
absolutely.
pretty sure that
Absolutely.
a lot of that's happening. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's I know a few freshmen in high school and can confirm it's just still stuff's still happening.
making it PG-13 because of the swears and nudity. I'm like, we might as well just go on with it.
And that
Come
kinda,
on.
that bumps
Come
into
on.
me. Like I've always had an issue with the rating system compared to like when you go to the movies. So it's PG-13. You have to be 18 to go see a rated R movie. Is that correct?
Yes,
But
it
you have to
is.
be 13 to pay an adult
I think
ticket.
17.
Oh,
So you're an adult when it comes to the money. When you're 13, you pay for an adult ticket.
Oh,
If
But you're not an
if I'm
adult
paying an
until you're
adult ticket,
18, so you can't see an adult movie.
I'm paying an adult ticket.
Right, I'm paying an adult ticket. I should be able to go see an
Wow.
adult movie. Absolutely, no, I'm with you. That's always bumped in. I get it. It's the the movie house versus the rating system. I get
Right.
it, but it's still like it's like the hot dogs and hot dog buns. You're right. You get 12 hot dogs, 8 buns. You know what I mean? So you have to buy a whole shitload of them to make it come out even. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So that's just that. All right. So the Batman again got its PG-13 rating. I had some other stuff. The notes didn't seem to come with me as well.
They were
as did.
shelved in your brain
They were
for later?
shelved in my brain. Absolutely right. I had some other things. So if I remember them during the talk of this podcast or at the
gonna
end,
blur it
Reach in the
out.
back,
I
you'll
will.
find it.
I'll burn it out.
Out
Yeah.
of nowhere, it comes out. What are you talking about?
Lemonhead. What? just letting things out
sorry?
randomly. All right, so let's get into it. We will do more, and I will have more organized notes for the next one as well. That one just kind of stuck with me on the Batman thing because, again, like I said,
Well, I'm
yeah.
sure we'll get into that when that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I already have my own opinions, like prejudged opinions about that movie, and I'm just like, I'll wait.
I already have
I don't-
I have my lack thereof opinions of it until it comes out and I see it and I go, I think it was the best movie. No, I was kidding. No.
That will be.
I think we all see that coming, Mila. I think we all know that's going to be
Oh
happening.
my god!
We get
I
it.
don't know what you guys are talking about. This is the best movie ever to come out on theater. You guys
Ever.
are overreacting.
Look at that bat suit. Look at that. Look at those
I want there to
villains.
be a Tumblr. I want there to be Bane.
Jesus.
No,
That Riddler looks on
I'm just gonna
point.
live it.
I'm
I'm just-
leaving.
The best Riddler costume ever to see.
oh
light
yeah!
of
Oh my
day.
gosh! By far.
We're all looking
This is
forward
my
to that
favorite
podcast,
Batman.
Mila. Thank you so much. All right.
I'm just getting out there now.
Just put it out there. Get everybody ready when you see that coming. All right. So shall we talk about Book of Boba Fett?
Let's go.
Let's.
All right. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Larry, get him.
All right. First and foremost, I'm tired of the timing. This is a Disney show. I understand.
Oh, the 38 minutes, you mean?
It's 38
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like,
runtime.
really?
It's like 38.
That short?
38 and change runtime.
That's the total time, but that includes the credits.
Exactly. And I was
Yep.
just gonna get to, so and technically, so I watched it again this morning, right? Which is Sunday. So
Did you time it, Larry?
you better believe I did.
I do it.
I stopped it when we saw our first flashback. I stopped it when the chase scene started
So, Larry, you basically played a drinking game by yourself.
by myself.
All right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
pretty
Watching
much.
Book of Boba Fett. Got it.
That seems like a great time. Great way to pass the time. I think.
Yeah,
Flashback,
there were
take a drink.
definitely there were definitely things I loved about this. There are definitely things I didn't like about this. One of the biggest flaws is the timing. I'm getting tired of these short episodes. And the way that I look back at it is, if you could have a show like Invincible and The Boys, if there's enough content to put an hour straight,
Yeah.
action packed
Yeah.
every episode. Why is Disney not doing this?
I'm going to look it up, but I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure they
Yeah.
had more episodes in the season than this did, than this is supposed to.
The Boys had 8.
Okay.
This
so
has
it's-
7.
Right. So you have
Yeah.
one less episode with a half the
You should
runtime.
be, you should be pushing some
should be-
of that.
you should
Then there
be-
should be
should
a
be
lot more
packing-
happening per episode if it's
Right.
that short.
You should be packing 60 minutes easy.
Easily. Now, I understand the whole character development. Like, we want to see kind of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it for the first 2 episodes. It's time to, like, start getting some things
Yeah.
in. Like, can we do stuff? Or are we just going to walk around?
I mean, it's Star Wars, for God's sakes. There's so much that can be happening.
Yep.
And we're just not seeing as much happen as should be going on in this world. It's almost
Right.
it's almost like so
Yeah.
hyper focused. You're seeing 5 minutes of the day, and that's it. There's 5 minutes of his day,
Yeah.
and we move on. Credits. Like, is there not more going on in this person's life and their
Yeah,
lives?
like,
you know what I mean? Well, the
I-
flashbacks take up another 5 to 10 minutes, and then the day is done.
Yeah, I really like when they do like take their time with things and develop a character, develop a story, make me attached to characters and stuff like that. I appreciate that. This is not that case because they're not doing it all that well.
Right, they're not really developing anything.
There's the thing is there's not even that much character building they're doing. Like he's always the same stoic guy. Like
We need to do this.
What more character can you build?
Every episode we need to
It's
go do
not
this.
like we're seeing what's going on in his mind.
Yeah.
That's not anywhere in there. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess they're dead now. Like the Tusken Raiders are dead now. And just
Spoiler alert! No, I'm just kidding. If you listen to this,
Look.
it's already been spoiled.
Sunday. This came
and
out
then
on
you just
Wednesday.
Yeah.
walk, and then he goes, okay,
pre-spoiled.
and then walks to the nearest city or something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
A lot of walking. This is Lord of the Rings in space. This is a lot of walking.
That's kind of how I'm feeling.
There's a lot of
It's
walking.
there's a lot of walking.
Yeah, 9 hours of short people walking.
Me personally, I'm gonna follow Amy's suggestion of given these actual ratings. I'm gonna say 2.5 mics out of 5.
2.5 mics out of 5. Okay.
Maybe
We
3.
well, basically, did you hear that one, Amy? And we
No.
kind of discussed that. Like, every
Shout out
episode,
to
we
Amy.
change
Thanks,
the
Amy.
rating system. Like, it's apples and bananas, it's horses, and you know what I mean. Like, we haven't decided on what the rating. So mics is fine. We can do mics. So it's like, out of 5 mics, how many mics would you give this?
Sometimes I might need 10 though.
No, you don't need.
No.
10.
I need
You
a
can
more
figure it out.
specific thing.
You can figure it out in 5.
All right, 5. I give it like a honestly. This third
You
episode,
can go half some mics. You can half mics.
it did actually forward some things though.
What did it for? I'm not disagreeing with you, but describe that. What are you talking about?
Like, like there are things happening with the Fets, or lack thereof happening with the Fets.
You mean the Huts?
The Huts, my bad. That's
They're
Boba
leaving.
Fett.
They're
and then
chickening
the
out and
Hutts.
leaving.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Turn from
so
slugs
I
to
guess.
chickens.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so I guess the Fett, the hobo, those guys,
Yeah.
the big slug,
Huts.
those
The
big
Huts,
slug
yeah.
folks. I don't know.
slug folk.
I don't know. I can't grab
okay.
Huts, but like,
Right.
they're.
Ben and Eileen.
I guess they're gone.
The Dover twins.
Well, the Tusken Raiders are gone for one thing. So then,
Yeah,
well,
we
those
killed
that
off the Tusken
village
Raiders.
Well, so then we can actually forward with the backstories,
Which I had issues with.
guess.
I don't know about you. I don't know how they got taken out so easily, but
Yes.
they had some pretty badass fighters. And how big was the gang? And they might have had guns, but so did the Tusken. As we
This
know,
is
so
a
did the
lot.
Tusken Raiders.
You know what? You know what? Thinking back on it, there's not a lot that actually happened here.
No, but it happened, but we didn't see it happen. It's
yeah,
back and
it
it's just
happened on
decimated.
screen. I mean-
he goes, and obviously it took time to get to where he was going to,
Yeah.
and he comes back, and they're still smoking. You know, it's basically Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru toasting in the corner. You know what I mean? It's basically-
Right.
I was
So
hoping there to be at least someone to be alive and go like, I don't know, sign what happened.
Something happened, yeah.
You know,
I
but there's
think
nobody.
that
He saw the graffiti on their tent, so he knew
Yeah.
he knew who it
He knew it
was.
was them, and the question, how big is this gang? They have to be pretty big because the Pikes were already paying them for protection, right?
Right.
We get that kind of information.
Yeah.
That they're like, listen, we have no problem paying protection to cross, but we're already paying, so you guys
We're not
figure that
double
out.
dipping here. We're not double dipping.
Right.
Yeah,
so they
sorry.
had to be big to take out that little tribe.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've just never seen that
We
big.
just
We've only
ne- yeah,
seen
we
like
never
3 or 4
s-
guys.
yeah,
at
and
a
those are the
time.
ones that Boba took care of.
Yeah, we've only seen
like
maybe
4 guys
4.
on a air bike
on the
or
speeder
motor
bikes, yeah.
Speeders,
speeder
yeah.
bike. Yep, and then just zoom away. And
Yep.
you go,
so now we know why he's pissed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So obviously now we got to get more flashbacks on that and the revenge and how he takes care of them where he gets to. We get that. Okay, I'm down for that. Some of the things I did like. I guess I'll swing on that one for a second. I liked the cameos.
Yep.
That was fun.
I got a few of those.
Stephen Root as the Jimmy James as the water seller, the water broker, if you will.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. I liked Danny Trejo. Obviously, we'll get more of him since he is taking care. He's the new
Yeah,
Rancor
I
keeper.
love
so
Danny
he'll be able
Trejo.
to help.
I like
train.
him, just in everything.
He's great. Yeah, he's just
he's
great.
awesome.
I'm like, look at that. It's Danny Trejo.
He's like,
We need a
What a
character
legend.
we need an
called
angry
Danny.
Mexican. We need an angry Mexican.
Did you
All right,
guys,
call and
did
show
you guys
Danny
catch
Trejo.
the for a second there was from the Mandalorian, the the woman mechanic.
Yes, walking by with her little droids. Yes.
Yeah,
so we
I
see
caught that. I was
the
like,
Pike,
hey.
the
So
spikes
that was
with the helmets on it.
Yep.
That was a cool little callback
Yeah.
to Mandalorian.
Yep.
And yeah, she's walking behind
Yeah.
with her
I was like,
mechanic.
hey,
I didn't catch her,
That's
but I
the
like the little mech droid.
Yeah, so
when he saw
she's
the
walking
spear.
past when you see the spikes with the helmets on.
Yeah.
She's in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the little droids walking behind her. Yeah, that was a cool little flashback.
Yeah.
That was a
dug that.
callback,
That
I
was
should say.
cool.
That was fun. I did enjoy that. Yeah, so I liked that. I liked Danny Trejo. I think we're gonna get some more out of him. Although, and Larry, we talked about this offline. I'm not 100% sold. He's on the up and up. I have to see more.
Yep.
First of all, it's Danny Trejo, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But second of all, like it's like, why do you use him to be like the super sweet nice guy? This will be like, there's the first time they've done that.
I know, right?
Yeah, I got to think about. Like,
You know what I mean?
It was he was in the Flash, and he kind of had that, but he was introduced as like
But he was a pain,
villain
like,
at
yeah,
first.
he was kind of like,
and then it
yeah.
was like, no, he's just worried about his daughter.
No,
or
he was a
something.
good guy. He was
Yeah.
just like almost like a dimension cop, like a
Yeah.
multiverse cop, basically, who brought
Yeah.
like people who would jump universes
Yeah.
back. But he was a shit. Like
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah,
he
but
was-
he's never-
he was
he's
a
never
badass.
opened
Like, he
as a
wasn't,
good
like,
person,
Nice. He was a bounty
ever.
hunter essentially, but he wasn't a nice one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just did things his own way.
his own way.
Yeah.
He basically was the Boba Fett. He was like the most feared bounty
Yeah.
hunter of the multiverse.
Oh.
Who would like take people, people who would jump
And people are
and-
afraid of him.
Yeah,
'cause he's Danny Trejo.
and not anymore. Yeah, but now it's now we have Boba Fett. And ain't nobody afraid of him.
Nobody's afraid of Boba Fett.
He's the
Nobody's afraid of the most feared bounty hunter.
I'm just the caretaker of this big beast.
Okay, so yeah, now he's a big caretaker of a new Rancor who he wants to
Rancor.
ride, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. Actually, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig that. I think
So
that's cool.
little. I don't know if you guys know this. The backstory I saw on the Jabba's palace.
Lore.
Do you know what's going on with Jabba's palace? Like where it
No.
used to be a monastery, basically, like monks owned it.
Oh.
So continuing on, they were obsessed basically with preserving the brain, like the knowledge. So you know those spiders that walk through every once in a while, they have the brain? That's them. They basically took their brains and put them in those spiders. And we
Okay.
saw that all the way back in
Really?
Jedi when C-3PO and R2-D2 walk through the palace when they come underneath the doors.
Yeah.
And that giant one walks across and they're like, oh my God, and he runs away. That's one of them.
So I'm glad you brought that up because this morning when I was watching it, I thought the same thing. Like the show opens up with that
Spider thing with brain
but it's,
in it.
but
Oh my
it's,
God,
but
I
it's
thought
not an organic
nothing of
spider,
it.
and that's when I was like, that's like a mech spider. Like, what is that?
It's the monks who
And you
put their
see-
brains in them
Oh wow!
to preserve their brains. Yeah.
I did not.
Son of a
I looked
shoe.
right past that. I was like,
so you see them every once in a while.
cool.
It wasn't wasn't the first time we saw them. Even in Boba Fett, they happened in one of the other episodes.
Okay.
But yeah, just a little backstory on that, just so you have a little context
Lore.
there. So you
Love
understand
Star
why
Wars
these
lore.
weird mech spiders are walking through with
now
brains.
I know why there's mech spiders running around in the desert
With brains
Noted.
in their bellies.
and it's brains. Got it.
observe.
Yep. So pretty cool there. All right. So we see again. We open up and he's right. We're in the. Oh, good. Now I lost it again. I just had it in my
The
head.
desert.
He was in the desert. But we know.
No,
On a planet.
That is one thing.
roughly.
We'll go into that before we go into the whole thing of what happened. The show is like, when you compare it, if you want to compare it, which maybe you don't, to Mandalorian, right? Because it's a offshoot of Mandalorian, right? It's
Right.
Mandalorian took place over a lot of different planets and a lot of different scenery. This is all in
Yeah.
the desert.
Like,
this
oh,
whole
look,
thing is one
sand.
rock, one dry
It's one
rock.
neighborhood.
How
Yeah,
beautiful!
It's one neighborhood.
It's
It's one
sand.
neighborhood.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
barely looks like he's going through a lot of Mos Espa. He's just like in one little corner.
Oh yeah,
And that's it.
especially when he's on the what's it called? The big horned yak looking thing.
The Wampa? No,
Wampa?
not the Wampa.
No, that's not a
right,
Wampa, that's
Bantha.
the-
The Bantam.
Bantam. Yeah, when he's going on that, it's like he doesn't breaks his sweat maybe because it's hot, but like it's like barely. It doesn't seem like all that much.
It's just it's a giant,
It's
not-
like
it's not an
maybe it's a
elephant,
few hours, yeah. But
Woolly
like,
mammoth.
It's a woolly mammoth.
I mean, that-
essentially.
that'd be-
a woolly yak.
It's a giant,
mammoth.
Woolly yak
not
mammoth.
as
With
friendly
horns.
Mr.
Big horns.
Yeah,
Snuffleupagus.
it's a big thing.
It's a giant
Big horn
Snuffleupagus.
yak, I'd say. Big
Snuffleupagus.
horn
It's
desert
Snuffy.
yak.
He calls him
Yeah,
Snuffy.
there we go.
He calls him Snuffy.
So yeah, I mean, the episode opens.
Mr. Whiskers,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the episode opens up with, him. What do you call it? He's eating food or whatever. He's having this big meal, and then the guy. So that's he's just kind of hanging out, being like the king, whatever. The guy comes in, says, "Hey, people are stealing my water. You need to go have a word with
Yeah,
them."
Yep.
Jimmy James.
Yeah, he's like, "All right, I'll have a
James.
word with them." He goes back into
Also
his
Milton from the Office Space.
yes.
The guy who wanted the swing line stapler.
He goes in, so he goes through that. Then he goes into his band, the little tank, and that's where our first flashback. And then we have the big giant Wookiee comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Opens it up, starts kicking the shit out.
Oh, it was awesome.
Then it
I
takes
love that.
Then it takes the high school dropouts to say
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the after-school special, high school dropouts.
Yeah, that's funny.
The gang.
My opinion on them, I liked the idea of like cyborg like gang.
Yeah.
I was
Kind
like,
of.
that looks sick, and I was like, why do they look so?
live action for in Star Wars? I kind of feel like that, but you know, it could be wrong.
And I was like, oh, wow, they just look like exactly high school dropouts. They even have the style of like a high school dropout. I'm like, wait, how did you get?
Kids.
What
Very
kind of
steampunk.
Where did you
Yes.
get that? Like, I don't know.
Steampunk emo,
with,
but they
with the brightly colored speeder bikes.
Yeah,
yes, the Ninja Turtle speeder bikes
I'm
that they
like,
have because they're all different colors. You have your blue, your orange.
the blue, orange, yellow, green.
Yeah.
They all kick the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's like they're basically like Power Rangers.
Pretty much.
They're like Star Wars Power Rangers.
Exactly, yeah.
Pretty much.
Teen, yeah.
Did you think it was kind of
teens,
weird? Like he
yeah,
goes
works.
there to stop them from stealing, and then easily just hires
Hires them?
them as like muscle. Like that seemed a little strange and so this was written by Jon Favreau and directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it was as strong for those two.
Isn't this?
put
But isn't
together.
the whole thing written by Jon Favreau though?
Yeah, kind of. And,
I mean, like
and Robert
90%
Rodriguez is on it a lot
Right.
as well.
So it's like it's
Kinda
their.
sleeping
I
on
kind of
this
say it's their story.
right
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I feel like Filoni doesn't have as much to do with this one. He seems like he's still like he's dealing with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
More like he's in there as like an executive producer or something like that.
Kinda just
But
a
he's
watchful
not
eye.
really. Yeah, he's not really much into the actual story
No.
itself. Like I've never seen his name on the writing credit, or
Yeah.
he hasn't directed. Maybe one of the, obviously we still have 4 episodes left.
4 episodes left.
So maybe
Four?
maybe
Really?
there's only 7.
Jesus.
So maybe he's in one of the first. Maybe that's why. Because obviously Mandalorian was super strong, but he had a lot of hand in Mandalorian. It was like 2 of them. A lot of
maybe-
writing and some directing and things like that.
I mean, maybe he's keep a watchful eye just to kind of keep it chronologically ordered. So he's like, timeline wise,
Yeah.
he's keeping an eye on this. And so when he
Kinda
goes
feel
to do
like-
season 3 of Mandalorian, if they want to cross, they
Yeah.
can kind of reference different points.
But
Yeah.
it just feels like what would happen
What are
if
they
he
going to
didn't
go?
have any hand
Go
in
to
it?
Tatooine?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
As long as it has nothing to do with Tatooine.
I know,
No.
really. I gotta get him off this world because it's driving me crazy. But it's just not as. I mean, not to say colorful. It's just not as interesting.
Yeah.
It's just desert rock.
The best thing that came out of Tatooine was Anakin.
Yep.
Why do we need to go back there?
Yeah, and he already killed all the. He
killed
killed a whole bunch
everybody.
of sand people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen that.
Seen that already.
So it was a little
Got
rough.
that
I thought it was a
squared
little
away.
rough. Yeah, no kidding. Solved. So we get the twins back again. They're there to basically, pick up, not even pick up their Wookiee. They could care less. Like, you captured him. Great, good for you. Let him go. Send him back.
They're like,
sell him. They're
okay.
like, sell him back.
Sell him back.
Sell him back to the gladiators.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was
Yeah.
interesting. And they wanted to give a tribute, which I still think is weird. Like,
Yeah.
they're leaving.
They're leaving, yeah.
They're leaving. Supposedly, they're leaving. Tatooine, and they're giving a Rancor tribute. I don't.
Yeah, I was like, I thought they were gonna give him like a rat or something, or like a
I thought they were
few
just gonna
rats.
tell him "F you, we're out of here."
But like at
deal
best,
with it yourself.
as like a haha, like I spit in your face before I go. But then it was
Yeah.
like, nah, here's a huge beast that will be loyal to you for the rest of your life, and you're like, damn, really?
Yeah, well, that was
Thanks,
nice of
I
you.
guess.
But
Ooh, the huts turned nice at the end. Like who knew?
Yeah.
As we're talking, right? We talked a little bit about this offline. Clearly they're huts, right?
as they are.
They're a gang, they're mobsters. There's always a plan. And now I'm thinking they gave their Rancor, and Danny Trejo was like, oh yeah, they imprint on the first human that they see. Maybe that's just a whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just like a line, so the Rancor could actually see this guy for the first time and go, "That's my ultimate target, is to kill him."
Yeah,
I
it
was
could just be
thinking that.
that.
You
Like
know?
when Danny Trejo was like, he'll be back.
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
Because the way
I
he
don't know about
said
that.
it,
Yeah.
the way he said it could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be pacifying it, like don't be upset. He's now your owner. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't get sad.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a lot of like he was talking a lot about the emotions
The
that
emotion.
Rancors
yeah,
have.
they're deeply emotional creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've never seen. Although
Yeah.
that's not necessarily true because they were in the Bad Batch. There was an episode
Okay, I
that
haven't
dealt
seen
very
Bad
much with the
Batch.
Rancors, and there was like a baby one, like a small one, and it
that
was a
one.
little emotional, but it was a baby. It was young, but so was this
So
one.
is this one. This one's a
This
calf,
was-
right.
This was a calf. It's not quite a baby, but it's smaller than like
Yeah.
the giant one we saw
Well,
in Jedi.
right.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it is. But
Yeah.
that'll be the
It
fun.
really-
to
it
me,
really
that's
could go any way,
That's like
honestly.
one interesting part that I'm looking forward to finding
Yeah.
out. Like
The Rancor and Danny Trejo.
that's it. I wanted to see what happens.
Everything
there.
else,
Everything
like,
else, well, we'll see what happens. We'll catch
all
it.
right.
We'll catch it. But I'm still interested in seeing the rest of the.
I'm kind of upset the
Show.
Wookiee's gone though.
I don't think he's gone.
I don't think he's gone. I think he's going to come back.
I think.
I hope he comes back because I thought he was interesting.
No, you're right.
That's a cool character.
I absolutely think you're right.
For them just,
I was like, wow, how badass. All right, peace.
Yeah, like for them to bring him in, introduce him the way that they did, and then just let him leave. Like,
right.
Like even he said, it was kind of funny too, like that part when Boba was like, you know, hey, I get it. It's business. We're all good though. I got no beef with you. You don't have to worry about me. And then like the kind of like subtlety that he kind of like looked around. He was like, are you serious? You're just going to leave?
I just go now.
I just go.
He's like, oh, here's some life advice as a bounty hunter
and then he
too.
runs. Yeah, and he just runs. And I'm like,
he does just kind of run off like a little like his legs.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
to where? Like you're in the middle of the desert.
You're in the middle of he went to town.
We don't really quite, and I'd have to look this up. I don't even know there is a design on like how far away from the town is the palace.
We
you
can't
don't
be that
really
far.
See it.
It's about.
But you look out of the
it's
palace.
a walk, I'd say.
You've seen like out exterior shots of the palace. You don't see much. You don't see it off in the distance. Like, oh, it's over there.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what though? Maybe because it's so much higher, they're just slower than they are. So
something.
Just see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to believe that people carried the huts that far without
collapsing and dying.
I mean, yeah, like
under their weight and exhaustion and lack of water.
Yeah, and I seriously doubt that Boba walked that far.
Yeah.
Like he wants to take the walk through. I get it. Yeah. But come on, dude, he didn't walk.
Yeah, again, it doesn't seem all that far away.
Right. Yeah,
like it's not like when he's walking from the especially from the Raiders to the town. It didn't look like he had all that much supply to bring.
It's a quick jog. It's like
it looked like it was the same day, honestly.
It's like running the pond.
Yeah, that's all.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. So all right. So maybe it isn't that far away. Hopefully not, because like you said, that's a long walk. The ship is too big. If I walk, the movie will be over. So, that is something we have to do one day. By the way, we have to do a Spaceballs review. We absolutely have to do it since we're doing.
I'm surprised that didn't come up. Like as a thought.
I'm gonna have to watch that one again though, because it's been forever.
Yeah, there's a tangent.
You know?
So yeah, we definitely have to do it. So I'll put it on the list. We'll have to do a Spaceballs.
Put that on the list before we get into a tangent.
We're too late. So we're down. We're in it. So the episode then takes us back to, because the Hutts basically say the mayor is still pulling this. He's basically aligning with the Pikes, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he just says that because they don't know exactly. They just said that the mayor has promised another group this area. So like, well, wait a minute.
We know who we're talking about. So
who are that group?
The Pikes, they're the Spice Runners.
Yeah, who are the Pikes?
They're the Spice Runners. They're the people that were on the train.
Oh.
So their main thing is they run spice. They're the Spice Runners.
Oh, okay.
Drugs.
So I was like,
drugs. It's all about the drugs.
It's always the drugs. Of course. That's their thing.
Yeah.
And from watching some of the animated, like if you watch the Clone Wars, they talk about the Spice Runs and the Pikes really towards the end of that. They really get into it.
Yeah, and that's where it was in Solo when they go to the, you know what I'm saying, where they go to the mining colony.
Yeah, the mining colony.
Yeah.
That's what they're mining, is spice.
Okay.
So so we go back to the mayor's place, and he's not there.
No.
His little domo guy, whatever, that guy's a pain in the ass. I can't stand him. I just want to shoot that guy. He's there trying to not let them see him, avoid the whole subject, and they bust their way in.
Because he locks the door and he takes off.
Yeah.
Because
like
we
I'm
need
such a slime ball.
Because we needed Larry's favorite thing in movies and TV.
A crappy chase scene.
A crappy chase.
Yep.
The one redeeming part of the chase scene
was them crashing through the Boba Fett picture, which I actually paused today just to look at it.
Twice. The painting that they went through from Jedi.
Yeah.
We see Jabba and Boba behind him, something like that.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, all right, a little nod to the fans. Like, that was
cool.
Within a ridiculous chase scene.
Yeah.
And
as someone who loves chase scenes,
our Power Rangers are jumping on their bikes, jumping over things, and trying to land on him and catch him. When Boba could have just jetpacked onto his car.
Exactly. And he proves he could have just done that too. And you're like, are you kidding me?
You could have just done that at the beginning.
Beginning.
Why we
jetpacked onto him and shot the land speeder down? Like, all right, cut it out.
Could have just shot him.
Yeah.
Just shoot him.
You had like a million. You could have used the missile that you have.
And Fennec
could have done
too.
literally anything.
Fennec's got a sharpshooter. She's a sharpshooter. She's got a sniper rifle.
She
She could have picked him up while he was trying to drive away.
Well, I mean, it didn't look like they wanted to kill him, so they didn't necessarily.
Pick the car off.
Yeah, you could have picked the car off. You could have like shot his shoulder or something. Especially she could have done it because she's a sharpshooter again.
Yeah.
But,
There's so many things that could have happened that didn't.
I know.
Yes.
I mean, when
But we needed the chase scene, Larry.
We needed the chase
because
scene.
we needed to get to 38 minutes.
my God, and let
We
me-
had to fill the time somehow.
and
God
look,
not
forbid
with
we
good
use it for something
story.
useful.
Not with good story, a useless chase scene.
And I'm just so tired of the chase scenes now because like the chase scenes.
And where the hell was he going?
Who knows? He was going around in circles.
Yeah.
He was going, around the town. Exactly.
You know,
Doing laps.
Small
Well, the thing
Tatooine town.
that I hate about chase scenes, and I want to make this abundantly clear, it's not that I don't like a chase scene. Like, I like a good chase scene.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use it as your quote-unquote action scene,
Yeah.
now it becomes a filler.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
they chased the train down. They chased the car down again. And other shows that we've reviewed on this, it's chase scenes after chase scene after chase
Yeah,
scene.
every episode has
And
a
I
chase
blame
scene.
it all on
Some
Fast
stuff.
and the Furious
Yeah,
because
Hawkeye
that
had
whole movie is nothing but a chase scene.
Hawkeye had the chase scene.
Yeah, so it's like
Yep.
everybody now relies on the chase scene for the action filler. How about you just kick the shit out of somebody?
Yeah.
That would be a good filler.
Oh, we had
for
a
me.
See,
one
the thing is,
half-decent fight with the ninjas in the first one.
Yeah, I love chase scenes. Like I'm a sucker for a good chase scene. It's also for me, it's the fact that these aren't very good chase scenes. The
No,
train
not
chase scene
great.
is good. The first in the first episode with Fennec chasing the guys, I'm like, all right, that's pretty neat. But but with this one, it's like this is not a good chase scene. To me, it's
so let's
just
take it
not
out then.
good.
What is your, and Larry, give me one of yours. What is your favorite chase scene in anything? Any chase scene you've ever seen?
Ooh,
Oh, my mind just went to Mad Max Fury Road.
There you go. It's a good chase scene.
it's a good chase scene.
Good chase scene.
That's good for me.
The Italian Job.
Which one? Remake of the original?
I'm gonna go original. I
like
the
Michael
remake.
Caine.
I like the original.
The cool thing about the remake though is that they do it with the minis, and
Yes,
that
the
was
Mini
so
Coopers,
cool.
yeah.
I was like,
That
wow.
was cool.
Gonna drive through a house with a little
That
Mini
was
Cooper.
cool, yeah.
I'm gonna go in Your Wheelhouse. I like 89 Batman.
Yeah.
The chase scene that they do, like when whether it's the Batwing getting all the balloons,
Yeah.
where did I get these beautiful toys, or the chasing of him driving through, them chasing him up the.
With that most ridiculous turn that he helps with the grappling hook, and even I
Yes.
can say that was so ridiculous, but I love it.
But that was very comic. That was very comic book campy.
Love,
Right?
I
was
love
perfect
comic
com-
book campy
it
in
was a
anything. I
total
love
comic
campy
book
in
film.
anything.
Yeah.
really.
I agree.
I mean, again, for me, those are chase scenes, right? The ones that those were chase scenes that had a meaning. There was something, there was
Yeah.
more body behind it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This
More
guy driving around in
stakes, you
circles
know?
and just hitting things. I'm like, you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to boot, one of them has the spike on his foot.
Yeah.
It took me to the third time to realize that he wasn't just kicking.
Yeah.
His leg was a piston. So from the knee down, it was a piston that was puncturing. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Watch-
it's
See,
pretty
I think
thought
the
it was just-
cyborg people. I think they have cool
Yeah,
abilities.
the school special gang.
Yeah.
The high school
that,
dropouts.
yeah,
Yes, they're
yeah.
fun.
They're kind of cool. They just seem kind of lame right now.
Well,
I'd like to see them in a
They were pretty cool, but he needs a gang.
yeah.
Like we talked about
yeah.
that. He needs people. Like I don't know who he's got. Like the
I
war
hope he
is
uses
coming.
them more.
da, da,
I hope
da.
we see more of them.
But
for
if
me.
you can kind of understand, well, like nobody kind of respects him because he has no power.
He
And
has
he has
none.
no muscle to do anything
Yeah.
with. So like, if you just get pissy with him, like, what's he gonna do?
He's gonna hire you.
Meanwhile, the
He's
Pikes
gonna
have
hire
like
you. Yeah,
an
that's right.
army.
He's gonna hire
the
you.
Pikes come and they've got the guy goes at least 12. Like they've got
Right.
an army.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and,
they're
and again, you have the high school dropouts that they're not afraid of him. But what's the worst thing that they did? They stole water. Wait, let me get this straight. You're going to war with some like real badass mafia guys, and you're going to war with people who steal water.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
what it is.
kidding me?
Yeah. With the bad
Water-
news bears.
Although-
Thank you.
And then hopefully a Rancor, maybe.
Well, You
Maybe.
get to ride him.
If
Eventually.
Danny Trejo doesn't,
Do some
sideswipe us and
do
go,
some
aha,
shady
you
shit, which I
fools.
still think he's gonna do.
Or hopefully
And
they
then
rank
we've got
won't be
Fett.
depressed
Wrong.
anymore.
and him. Like there's not a lot on his side.
Yeah. There's not. That was
No.
kind of my point. There's just not a lot of muscle behind him, so he doesn't really have a lot of weight to throw around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be the main guy. You know what I mean?
And I'm sorry, he needs to kill somebody.
I know. At some point, he's
Someone
gonna
has
have
to
to
die.
lay somebody out.
Someone has to die.
Like, I get the whole thing, like, he wants to lead with respect and not fear. I completely
Yeah.
get that. But if you look at the last
it's
two,
not working.
it's not working. Right. So, like, if you
'Cause
look
the
at the
thing-
last
yeah.
two guys that ran it, nobody messed with Jabba because he was just like, I don't like the way you did your hair today. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
I'm going to feed you
exactly.
to my Rancor. Right.
The
Yeah.
cut of your jib. You're gone.
Right. Nipatuna, he knew that he wasn't forceful like that. So he played the shrewd business guy going, okay, listen, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to split everything up. And every family is going to have its own little set.
You run this, you
run that. You guys kick into me, and then we'll all kick to the mayor. And that's why the mayor was just like, yeah, I just want to get rich. Mm-hmm.
But even when Bib Fortuna was, so then you saw Boba come in and kill him, it still seemed like he had like a crowd behind him.
Right, no, he was still respected.
But there was people there, not people, but there was like there was creatures there. There was beings in the palace. Like, dude, it's just him and Fennec and the Oompa Loompas and the skinny little white robot. Like, that's it. Now he's got the after school special.
Right.
He's got the Bad News Bears with him. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping the Wookiee comes back.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
When's he gonna come back? In episode 6?
Probably episode 7. Gonna keep it real.
They better do something
minutes.
quick, real fast.
They go, oh, look, and he like kills someone, and you go, okay, and then you move on.
Maybe that's the guy. You sends him out to go kill people.
Yeah, it's gonna be the bonus the bonus scene.
It's gonna be a deleted scene.
The end
There
credits.
better be any deleted scenes. All the scenes better just be in it. Put the damn scenes in the show. You have plenty of time.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
I know we're beating that dead horse, but it does aggravate me that like these shows
38 minutes full of nothing.
You have no commercials to worry about, and you have no like, oh, we had to fill the 8 o'clock, but we had to be off by 9 o'clock for the 9 o'clock show time slot. Right. You could make every episode 2 hours if you wanted to. Who cares? Obviously, you're not going because that's a movie, but you can make them 45 minutes. You can make them 50. You can make them 60 minutes on the dot if you want to.
Yeah.
And people will watch it as long as you have a strong story.
But so
and
far,
that kind of seems like maybe that's why they're not that long, because the story is not as strong as it could be. It's certainly not as strong as Mandalorian, because pretty much all the Mandalorian episodes were longer.
Right.
Yeah,
they're all in the 40s.
And there
50s.
was a lot of stuff in the Mandalorian.
There was a lot of
every
stuff.
Every episode had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Introducing other characters.
Yeah.
That maybe if you
we
just watch the movies.
Villain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like almost like right from the beginning, like we knew, almost from the beginning, from the jump, we knew who was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it took to the first season that we really got to see Giancarlo Esposito. But like even the other villains that were kind of like the background guys were still a little bit more fleshed out than we're seeing now.
Yeah.
We thought the Hutts would be, but they're gone. They're leaving. They're jumping ship.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for the dust to settle, then take over after that.
I mean that is shrewd business. Let everybody kill each other.
I mean that's kind of honestly that's kind of what I'm thinking that they're doing anyway.
Yeah.
That was always my thought, because for them to be like, you don't come in and make a presence like that, like, hey, we're taking over because this is our.
Just turn around and leave.
And then like, you know what? There's a lot of shit going on here. We're just gonna bounce. Like, wait a minute, you are the Hutts. You have a whole planet of you bastards.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that
not
it's just
sending more?
You're not. Right.
You two are leaving. You're not just going to send more.
Right. Yeah. I think that's their plays. They're just going to wait to see, let the dust settle and go, all right, now that you're all beat up, now we're going to come in and take you over.
Yeah, there's
I can see that happening.
And it's going to be, it'd be such an easy move for them to
Of course. And that's kind of what the Hutts do.
Yeah.
I mean, but I expect that. And again, it's just, they have these characters that if you watch some of the other stuff, you expect certain things out of them. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning with Boba. It's like you expect something out of Boba. And I get it. Character development, story development. It's episode 3 and it was 38 minutes. There's nothing developing.
Nope.
No, there's not. And I don't. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way. They don't necessarily like the way he is developing, even for what little they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
inkling of development that's happened to his character so far. It's not happening.
He spent time with the Sand People and basically became like, the Zen Buddhist monk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just happy with everybody, and I'm just pacified, because they kind of were.
I even jumped on board with that.
They were. Like, that section of Tusken Raiders were kind of like that. We're just kind of like, we do our thing, and we kind of hide, and we leave everybody alone, and we don't really, unless they come to our territory.
Yeah.
But we just kind of
had their own little civilization there.
And that's it. So he's kind of turned that cheek of like, I don't have to kill. I don't have to. We went from the most feared bounty hunter to just a pacifist monk.
But
a pacifist monk going, I'm going to be a crime boss and rule by respect, and everybody will.
I'm wondering if he changed so much as far as like the whole Buddhist monk. What was your drive to become the crime boss? Why did you walk in and go, I know I've been hanging out and kind of like leveled out,
chilling,
but now I'm going to be a crime boss.
Yeah,
I would have much preferred if he just, walk the sands of time and
kung fu.
Basically,
and just he became Kwai Chang, and that was it.
And that was it. If you go, but
stole apart from Bruce Lee and just call it a day.
Why not?
Exactly.
Done.
But on top of that, though, if you could have told me more on the story that he was going to be vengeful. He's going to kill the guys that killed the Tusken Raiders. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If that was your sole purpose, why did you show me all that just for him to come to Mos Espa? Go, I'm going to be crime lord, unless he feels that those guys, which we don't know yet. Maybe along the storyline, we're going to find out that they were sent or they were working for somebody that's on Mos Espa. So that's why he's trying to get to them eventually. It's a long
could
way
be
to
the
get there.
That could be the long con, right? Exactly. He's doing this to take them out because maybe they are part of what's happening in the war that's coming. Because we've only seen them in the past,
Right.
We haven't seen them in the present yet, right? As far as I remember, we have not seen any hide nor hair of them
Nope.
in the current.
Nope.
So, I would imagine that's you can't lay that much background with them without bringing them into
Without
the
bringing them in,
into
right.
into the present.
Right.
They can't just stay in the past like that.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason
Yep.
for spending so much time with them. So there it is. All right. So you gave it. I'm sorry. Did you say how many
Wait,
mics?
out of 5?
Out of 5 mics.
I'd give this episode a 2.5 best.
Maybe we should call them rants.
No,
Rants. No,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work for you.
like 2.5 rants. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, that's fine.
Mike's,
We
that makes more sense.
rant a lot.
We do.
Yeah, this whole thing's a rant. You
whole
can't
thing, yeah,
rate
you
like
can't.
That's fine.
you can rate a
That's
rant,
fine.
but you
Poo-poo
can't
shit on my
rant
idea.
a rant.
That's fine.
You
Yeah,
know?
rant a rant.
Doesn't make sense.
It's fine. Shit on my idea. It's okay.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Put it in your hat.
I will continue shitting on
I
rant.
know. That's
Oh, you
quite
gave me
all
permission? All right.
right. Listen, Tumblr. He's up there, Tumblr.
That was good. She's like, "Oh, you giving me permission? Then I absolutely will."
Settle down, Thumbtack.
Well, let's start. No.
Where do we start? So you give it a 2.5?
Yes, I give it 2.5
Wow.
because
You gave it. Didn't you give it 3.5?
I'm giving it a 3.
A 3. Well, ooh.
Well, it's
I
not
didn't see
that
that
far
coming.
off.
I gotta
It's
say, I
not
didn't
that
see that
far
coming.
off.
It really isn't that far.
Nothing's happening.
No, I just didn't see her giving it
yeah.
less than
Less-
you.
In fact,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
she might be like, "No, well, I thought it was nice because of the introduction of the."
Nah,
kinda likes a
I
good
was
chase
kind.
scene.
I was kind for the first 2 episodes because I thought it was going to go somewhere with his character.
By 3, you thought it
it's
would kinda
not.
pick up?
It's a 2.5. Take it or leave it.
She's starting to come over to more my side now. I'm
Great, I
feeling
think
it.
I'm on this side of the table by myself.
What would you? What would
I'm
you
only at
rate?
3.5. Like I didn't go crazy.
3.5?
I'm at 3.5. I'm at 3.5. I like 3.5. I
Three-
like
2.5, 3.5.
And I'm gonna only give. I
Got
would have
it.
given it a 3, but I'm at that other half because I like the cameos. I love Stephen Root.
Well, cameos
I
are
love Danny
nice,
Trejo.
but like,
I thought it was fun.
no,
I thought
you know
I thought we
what?
needed something
I'd
like that.
scooch it up to 2.45 mics for Danny Trejo.
There you go. It's only halves. It goes by halves.
No, you were at a half,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you can't scoop it up to 2.4.
3.75.
Oh, good Lord.
Take it or leave it.
The
No,
fucking
2.75.
price is right all of a sudden.
2.75
Are we
for
getting
Danny
closer?
Trejo.
2
Higher,
and 3 quarters because of
We're
Danny
getting
Trejo.
higher.
Lower,
Slightly
higher.
higher.
Where the price is right all of a sudden. All right, gang. There it is. Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, episode 3 in the books. Yeah, I'm still looking forward to 4.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I want to
I'm
see how
still
this whole
gonna
mess
watch
plays
it, but
out.
I'm like, I swear to God, if they give me
I'm
episode
definitely
4
not gonna. I'm
and
definitely not
nothing
gonna
happens,
rewatch. I'm definitely not rewatching. This is
it's
not a
going right
rewatch
back
show
down to
for me.
2.5 at best.
Yeah, it's definitely not a rewatch show for me. There's too much coming up. But speaking of what's coming up, going back to some of our news, we saw a sneak peek at Moon Knight, but we're going to see a full-on trailer. I believe the NFL game that's on the wild card game.
So that's today.
That's tonight. Today, yeah, they're gonna play
Right now in 4 o'clock. I don't know which one they're doing it at.
They're
though.
doing the full-on trailer, so it'll be on the web anyway. I don't care watch
Yeah.
the football game. They'll just pump it onto the web as soon as it's done. But they're doing the full-on Moon Knight trailer. Looks good. I'm excited.
You know,
I'm excited.
I was always kind of
Does it look
suspect
good?
because it wasn't my character. I did a little
yes.
background on it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
and like we've said.
now it's supposed to be the most vicious, realistic Disney anyway. I don't think it's gonna be
For
quite.
Disney's
it's not gonna quite
sake,
be
God
Daredevil.
forbid.
So
Yeah,
speaking,
oh,
okay.
sure,
So
but
wait a minute.
it's
So
still-
speaking of that, right? So speaking of that, because everybody's like, "Oh, it's
Daredevil.
Disney. It's Disney." When does Disney finally say, "You know what? We need to separate this because we know where that we know
We need
what
a
the
more
Plus,
sophisticated adult
grown-ups.
section
right?"
versus
And
the
I
little
think
kiddie stuff.
and I think that this is kind of
They could put like a
Fucking
kid
for
filter
that.
on it, like on no. Like what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
you know how Netflix has like Netflix and then there's like Netflix Kids
Yeah,
where you
absolutely.
have like a parent like
Right.
lab.
Parent- yeah,
you could
absolutely.
probably try to have that, but for Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
they could absolutely.
But I want
I
Disney
hope
not to
to
have,
God they do
because there is a
something
bunch of
like
stuff
that.
missing in the catalog that
Yeah.
they could put up, but I think part of it is they don't want to put it on because it's too adult.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, and they could
Yeah.
just do a kid filter. Absolutely,
right.
And then done. That takes care of literally everything.
they put everything on that they want.
But I want Disney to start making more adult driven stuff, not
Yeah.
just hey, it's we took
if
a
it-
property from somebody else.
I think the
I want
hard
Disney to
part-
start making the move.
I agree with you, but I think the hard part for them, it just goes back to the same reason Batman's a PG-13.
Yep.
Moon Knight, marketing, Star
Yeah.
Wars,
I mean, I
it's
get it.
toys.
Marketing.
It's toys. So if you're not making it for kids, who's buying the toys? I mean, collectors, but they're not going to make
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
No,
the
yeah,
kids who
yeah,
are gonna
you're
buy
right,
the
you're
Moon
right.
Knight toys. They're going to buy the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So they'll soften up Daredevil a little bit when he finally comes into the MCU. You know what I mean? Like full on, not just
God,
like
I
cameo.
don't want. I
They're
don't
gonna
want
have to.
softened up
They're
Daredevil.
gonna
No.
have to. It's not going to be the same. You're going to get that Holloway scene again. You're not going to get
Oh,
the same craziness.
God.
It's just going to be.
That
It's
makes
going
me-
to be.
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's
it is.
one
It
of
was
the be-
amazing,
that's one of the
but it was on
best fight
Netflix, and they
scenes.
could care less. So you know they're going to have to because it's going to
So
be on
mad.
Disney, and they want to sell the. They want to
I
sell
never
the toys.
thought about a softened up Daredevil before, and I'm like, oh no.
Because like the Netflix shows, like even the Daredevil, I don't remember seeing much in the way of like action figures and toys for those. There's some out
Yeah.
there. There's certainly the higher end collectibles,
Yeah.
those hot toys
I
and
can't
whatever.
see anyone
Well,
getting
that's
a Jessica
what it is.
Jones.
But there's not
type of,
like there's
action
not
figure
just
for
the
kid.
yeah there's not just yeah exactly there's not just like little action figures and stuff like that. So when
Yeah.
Disney starts doing their version, there'll be a lot of toys behind it.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
he's coming in at the yellow suit. So there's another reason. You have the yellow suit, the black
No,
suit,
that
the
was
red
only
suit.
that was only a rumor.
Well,
I hope it's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor.
seriously doubt it's a rumor. At some point, I think they'll do it because they want to sell toys. Like how many
Yellow?
look at how many costumes Captain
Yellow?
America had. Just Captain America alone.
Yeah,
Forget
but
about
they
Iron
all
Man.
looked the same.
No, they didn't. They were vastly.
No,
they were very
they were
different.
different.
And they
They
sold
were.
the toys between like the goofy original versus the original version they did in First Avenger.
Yeah.
Then the the costumey looking. Then the Avengers one, and you know what I mean. Like they did in the stealth suit, and then yada yada. It kept going on. There was no reason for him to change the costume look
Yeah.
ever. Forget about it. After we passed Avengers, there was no reason, other than that was kind of goofy, but there was no reason to change it other than to sell his toys. There's a reason there's 90,000 Iron Man outfits. Because
Well, yeah, because there was 90,000 different Iron Man. There was a Mach
He
1,
made
Mach 2,
90,000.
Mach
right, that's
3.
what, but yeah, because
Iron
they're
Man
selling
things.
toys. They're selling toys. I mean,
This is true.
Hot Toys that's like their largest line is the diecast Iron Man. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
They can't come out with other characters. There's been toys that have been like on like mock up or previewed at the Comic Cons that haven't come out for years, but they've done like 70 more Iron Man. Like they're just pumping them out. They're pumping them out like they're
'Cause they
free.
can.
Because they can. Oh, they're doing like Venomized everything. So
Oh, I've
'cause that's
seen some of that stuff, yeah.
it's a pain in the ass. They did a Venomized Iron Man. So
Yeah.
like, they
I
just
think
like
it
here's our
looks
two
cool.
most
I
popular,
just
smush them
think
together.
it's also I'm like, come on.
I'm okay with
It's
all
a
like
bit
the
much.
fan art stuff that comes out because it is
Yeah,
pretty
fan art
cool.
stuff
Cool.
is
No, it
cool.
is.
But it's like,
This
all
is
right,
a cash
enough.
grab.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
enough
so
is enough.
That's exactly what they're gonna do with the toys for Daredevil and everything. They're just gonna make tons of money off the stuff. So that's why going back to you can't do really adult versions of it. You know what I mean? It has to be because
Unless you come out with Disney Plus for like with the parent
at night.
lock or child lock
Disney
or
Plus
something.
at night.
like Nick
Disney
at
at
Night,
night.
Nick at Night too.
No, that's not what I was thinking about. Cinemax at night. Remember that?
Yeah. Cinemax at night, yeah.
exactly.
After 10 o'clock's when the good stuff comes.
That's right. Shit is Scrambled. I can watch Scrambled.
Squint your eyes.
That's right. So there it is. All right, gang. Any final words on Boba Fett? Or are we just looking forward to next episode?
Looking forward to the next episode.
Yep.
Cool.
Hopefully it's better.
Same
Hopefully it's
here.
longer than
Alright.
34 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything you just said, Larry.
you.
Everything you just said.
And we'll
Sorry,
schedule
Mila.
our Spaceballs review. We'll have to schedule that stuff coming up soon. We'll put that on the list for our February 6th, whatever.
February something. If
I think it's the
I'm
6th
sure.
is our next long day podcast. So something we hadn't done, haven't fleshed out yet. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll put Spaceballs on that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. You know what I wanted to do before we jumped off, and I should have did this at the beginning. I completely
Oh, boy.
apologize. I apologize because I said we would do this if we got. Where'd it go? Where's my shows? Where's my shows? Here's my shows. I'm just going to read it. All right. So our first review has come in.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Hey.
All right. From Kenny or Ken.
Shout
I
out to
love
Ken.
5 stars. I love this podcast. Marco, you have an amazing radio voice, which makes it such a joy to listen to. I don't know what y'all fuckers are doing. Love the back and forth with your guests. Keep up
Hey.
the great work, Ken. So there's our first official
Hey.
podcast
Nice.
review. So if you guys would like to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we would love it, and we will read it on the show. Next time I'll do it at the top of the show, not at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Just hit me. I knew there was something else I wanted to
As
do.
long as we get it out there.
If Marco
Yeah.
could make a note, like make notes, I would be
You
dangerous.
should buy a pack of sticky notes.
Or I could just do it since I have a laptop in front of me that has notes.
Well,
I
clearly
could
that
just
hasn't
use
worked.
the
Just use-
billions of dollars of technology that's sitting on this desk.
That
Your-
could work.
Maybe
your
I
phone?
could just use that. Yeah, between my laptop and my phone, I could do something like that. And I will going forward. All right, gang. Thank you so much for listening. Again, we're Entertainment Rants. Find us online at entertainmentrants.com. Send us an email at engage@entertainmentrants or see us on our social media, Entertainment Rants, and on Twitter at Entertain Rants. All right. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mila.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, get out there. Keep ranting, everybody.